This next story is absolutely fascinating. Many of you might remember the name Sidney Powell. Sidney Powell is this kooky lawyer who was, she was working with Trump on the election fraud claims. And then when she got too cartoonish, she was no longer working with Trump per the White House. But then she was seen at the White House and she filed a bunch of these bogus court legal complaints, all of which were thrown out. She is now admitting maybe all that stuff she was saying about the election was not true. Now, I think we really have to approach this with a skeptical eye, maybe even a cynical perspective. Has she really changed her mind, or is she saying this because she is now in such jeopardy because of the things that she did? There's a very interesting Vice News article titled "Sidney Powell Finally Admits That Perhaps the Kraken is Not Real." But it also says, facing disbarment and several billion-dollar lawsuits, the pro-Trump lawyer is kind of changing her story. And I think we have to consider the context here. The admission from Powell came in a brief filed Monday to the U.S. Court of Appeal for the 6th District. It was signed by Powell and fellow lawyer Howard Kleinhendler, filed on behalf of several other Kraken lawyers, though notably not pro-Trump lawyer Lynn Wood, who's also a party. Back in August, you might remember, and we covered this at the time, District Court Judge Linda Parker eviscerated Powell and her team, saying the lawsuit represents a historic and profound abuse of the judicial process. And it does. It's one thing to take on the charge of vindicating rights associated with an allegedly fraudulent election. It is another to take on the charge of deceiving a federal court and the American people into believing rights were infringed without regard to whether any laws or rights were in fact violated. And that is what happened here. Now, Powell, this is fascinating. Powell has argued at the time she was under no obligation to thoroughly research the claims that she made about voter fraud in the lawsuit. She sort of made the case at the time. Listen, people came to me and they said, this is what happened. And it's not up to me to independently verify that that's what the case is. I'm just the lawyer here, which the judge does not agree with, and it makes absolutely no sense. In this week's filing, Powell and Kleinhendler casually admit everything they had been saying may not actually be true, but because lots of people were saying it at the time, they decided to include it. Quote, millions of Americans believe the central contentions of the complaint to be true, and perhaps they are, admitting she's no longer actually confident about the veracity of those claims. Now, I think it's important to ask the question, does she believe all of these wacky election claims are true, but she's backing off because of the legal problems that she's now having? Did she never believe the claims were true, or did she believe them and she has since changed her mind? Legally speaking, I don't know that it makes a difference. As a reminder, here are some of the wacky things that this woman said.
The amount of evidence that this election was completely fraudulent and that Joe Biden is a fraudulent president is beyond overwhelming.
Now, understand that if we are to believe her current statement, what she meant when she said that was, the people I'm working with told me this, but I don't really know it to be true. That's what she now says. Listen, we were told these things. We didn't independently confirm them. Here's another Sidney Powell clip.
So I don't know where to go next because this is like something out of a movie. So the Department of Defense, let's review. 2006, a patent coming from the Department of Defense that allows for an algorithm that can flip and change votes. The patent was transferred to...
I love the reference to an algorithm. Ow. It's an algorithm.
It can predetermine, that algorithm can predetermine the outcome of an election. It's specifically to create a predetermined outcome.
Okay, so maybe she believed that to be true at the time, or again, maybe that's just what some of the people she was working with told her. Here's another one about a secret server.
What I think really has to be discovered is that there is a secret server that all the votes go to where they manipulate the heck out of it.
Now, did she believe that at the time, or was that also just something people were telling her? And here's one last one with this wacky guy, Stu Peters.
That for at least 20 years now, somebody other than the voters of the United States of America has been determining certain elections. And this year, if not prior years, it happened to be the presidency of the United States of America.
Now, did she believe that at the time? Or again, was it just, we were told that stuff and we didn't investigate it? So Sidney Powell now saying, we don't really know that any of that stuff was true. It's just what we were told, by plaintiffs. She's really potentially in trouble here. And I think that's all that's going on. Let me know your thoughts. Find me on Twitter at dpacman. If you or someone you know is into science, astronomy, space, this is for you. Our sponsor, Under Lucky Stars, creates beautiful personalized star maps showing the unique position of the stars in the sky at the place and time chosen by you. Under Lucky Stars is a great way to remember an important moment, someone's birthday, wedding day, your engagement. You give them a time and a location that you want to commemorate. They show you exactly how the stars and constellations looked in a spectacular, super high quality print. It's a completely personalized gift experience. You can customize it into a ton of designs. You can read on their website how all the star maps are scientifically accurate. This is the one I got, showing the time of my birth in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The quality of the material and the print, they're fantastic. I was really impressed. And I love that they support the International Dark Sky Association to fight against light pollution. Under Lucky Stars is perfect for Valentine's Day. And right now they're giving my viewers 10% off when you click the link below and enter the code DPACMAN.